It just can't be done.
Nessa Cosgrove of the Labour Party polled 2072 first preference votes according to the tally figures. Our Director of Elections, John Davey, joins John on the floor.
Yeah, thank you, Niall. Let's start on that point. 2072 votes by the tally figures that Nessa Cosgrove would have recorded this time round. Give me your take on that, considering it's our second time round in a general election campaign.
Yeah, great. We're delighted. She's done really well. She's doubled her vote since last time. And I'm not really surprised because Nessa is a fantastic candidate. She's been an inspiration to so many people in the constituency, especially young women who, have been brought into politics because of her. You wouldn't believe our campaign team has been so full of positive energy, and it's an energy that's been brought really by women. It is a woman's energy. We've had smiles, we've had laughs, not really had any rows. We've managed to keep that away, and we've been giving a positive message all the way. A positive message about childcare, a positive message about housing, about the climate, and I think really what we found on the doors is that people do have, the vote might not reflect this entirely, but people do have intrinsic Labour values. They do care about the things that we care about, and I think that's where the strength of social democracy comes in, whether it's from the Greens or Labour or the Social Democrats, that the bigger parties will take our ideas and they'll implement them because they know that if they didn't, that we'd get our turn.
The panel have just been discussing the makeup of future governments, and really many people could maybe perhaps look back at Labour's last stint in government and say the party is still rebuilding after that and very much paying the price of a disastrous term in government where there was the water charges springs to mind straight away as maybe one of the legacies from there, and Joan Burton. Is that forgotten about now on the doorsteps? Have people moved on from that, or what was the response locally?
Yeah, most people have moved on. It does still come up, especially from people on Facebook. It comes up all the time. What about the water charges? But most people understand that Labour went into government when the country was in a state. It was at the verge of bankruptcy, and we had to make difficult decisions, and some of those decisions were wrong, and they've been apologised for time and again by the leadership of the party and locally by the party. Some of the decisions were unpalatable but necessary. And I think that's the thing with Labour, that we're not afraid to go into government. We're not afraid to talk to any party and to all parties, and we're prepared to be constructive. You could look at other parties on the so-called left, and they're not really interested in achieving anything or independence. They're not able to deliver in government. They're able to deliver on small local issues, but we have a coherent programme, and we've had a fantastic candidate who's been credible and incredible at the same time. So,
would you put her success down to a large individual vote here? Because there are those that will say in the Northwest in particular, going back to the Labour tradition in the Northwest, that the party has lost its identity to some shape or form.
The Labour Party has never lost its identity. I suppose when you look back to the heyday of the Labour Party, and I'm thinking about, we commemorated Tommy Higgins this year, who was a great Labour Party activist and trade union activist. But the left has become more diverse. So we've got people before profit, we've got Sinn Féin has become respectable, and we've got the Greens. Again, those parties, and it's great to see them emerging because it gives, there's great diversity in Irish politics, and the proportional representation system allows that to happen. Whereas I grew up in the UK, and it was black or white, it was Labour or the Conservatives. And, and then you don't get minority views taken on board, and you don't get popular progressive views taken on board. But with the proportional representation system, it's fantastic to see other parties and independents having a chance to get their perspective across.
Speaking of proportional representation, what a lot of people will be watching on now with significant interest is where the Nessa Cosgrove transfers are going to go.
Well, we'll worry about where Nessa Cosgrove's transfers are going to go when that happens.
Do you accept it probably is going to happen, going by the indicators, that it could play a big part with a crowded field in relation to, say, some of the independents might be expecting to get something there. You can see where I'm coming from here, that there will be interest in that.
There will definitely be interest. I mean, at the moment, I'm interested to see where the transfers are coming from people who might be eliminated before Nessa. I mean, we're realists. Nessa's unlikely to be one of the four, but I think she's the best of the rest. And to be honest, I think she's If she's not the very best candidate who was on that ballot paper, she's definitely the second best candidate.
So you'd very much look at this campaign and say the Labour Party are making slow but steady progress in the Northwest.
Better than slow and steady. Steady and, if not quite rapid, accelerating. Because we have got a message that's coherent, we've got a message that's positive, we've got a message that's based on youth and the future. We've also got a message that draws on a rich heritage, like I was mentioning there about Tommy Higgins. And, you know, we've got great figures like Marcella McGarry and Veronica Corley, who is still hanging around in the town and you know, still very much in touch with the union movement and with the Labour Party. Now,
all right. Final question that I just want to put to you in relation, and you're again experienced when it comes to these campaigns. Various predictions are being made in relation to where the 4 seats are going to go. If you were a betting man at this stage, John, where would you be putting the couple of euro?
Well, I'm not a betting man, but I did put a bet on. I'm not going to get my money back. Now, I don't know. I'm not going to bluff you but there's definitely been surprises, I think, in the results. People were calling this one of the most easy to call constituencies, and it's not turned out to be that way, because we've got, you know, there are shocks coming.
Okay, so you're not going to make any solid predictions as of yet?
I think that would be a very silly thing for me to do.
All right, okay. John, look, it's great to catch up with you. Thank you so much indeed for joining us. John Davey, Director of Elections there for Nessa Cosgrove, who of course ran as a candidate for the Labour Party here in Sligo Leitch. And with that, Niall, it's back to you.
Thanks for that, John. And John, Fergal, you wanted to say a word about Nessa Cosgrove? Again, a council colleague of yours.
Yeah, we work together on the town, Sligo Strand Hill and County Council. Nessa's vote is doubled here, and I'm just not one bit surprised, because anyone that meets Nessa finds she's extremely likeable, extremely passionate about her politics, and very, very, very capable. So, you know, if Nessa doubles next time around, then she's right in the hunt. So look, well done, Nessa, and I know she's got a fantastic campaign team behind her as well. And as John alluded to, a lot of energy there.
They're daily better come up anyway.
I think in terms of the trans.